Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Sandy, how are you? How was your day today? Thanks for joining, everybody. I'm Lakeisha Riddick. I'm a online blogger. And hey, Sip Tea with Raina. Thanks for joining. If you guys could tell me your first names, if they don't match up with your handle, I'd appreciate it. So I'm not calling you something different there. But hey, Jay Mulvey, welcome. Share your first name so I can greet you if it's not, easily identifiable with your handle. Yes, thanks, babe. Hey, good to see you again. Thanks for joining me earlier, Raina. Is that how you pronounce it? Raina. Okay, thank you. And thanks, Sandy, for joining back in. And thanks for the hearts. Yes. So I'm an online blogger. Thanks for joining W. Marinuzzo. If you could tell me your first name, everybody that joins in, tell me your first name so I can greet you. I'm a blogger and online talk radio show host of Share My World Show. You can follow me on all social media and under Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I have a YouTube channel and I have a blog as well, Share My World Show. You can find me there. And again, as I see some people have already shared, you can share it on Apple devices, swipe right. On Android devices, swipe up. Again, thank you for joining, and thanks for the hearts. I do appreciate it. Helps me to connect. I thought about something else. I kind of graduated on this thing here, right? I started doing a blog. I started doing my radio show. Yeah, swipe. I started doing my radio show. Hey, K Cutie Pie. I think, yes, Katrina. I think that's your name. K Cutie Pie 31. Thanks for joining me and following me. Yes, okay, I'm remembering the names. I go back through after each episode and kind of look for the names so that I can kind of remember you guys, because I do appreciate. Hey, Sherm Cloud, thanks for joining. Excuse me, I do truly appreciate you guys following me and following my journey and staying connected. All the way from Canada, Flossie 333. I've been to Toronto and Niagara Falls, the Canadian side. Beautiful, beautiful country. Hey, thanks for joining. And what's your first name, Sherm Cloud? I didn't remember seeing it, but I think I've seen you a couple of times on my broadcast. I do appreciate it. So, hey, thanks for the heart bomb. I do appreciate that. So I was just thinking about what am I going to talk about today, since I did scope a little earlier about appreciating small things. And I do pray before I do the show, and God will do the show, right? Do the broadcast, and God was telling me, be your own competition. And how did that come about? Because I was looking at other people as my competition. I'm on my faith weight loss journey. That's what I scope about and I blog about daily. And I have been, just seeing small changes, like I talked about earlier, and have been able to appreciate it. And I just talked about this earlier, right? Well, I would say this: the enemy, his job is to steal, to kill, and destroy, and also to distract you. And in his distracting of you, he can get you to, not be motivated to do what you're supposed to do. So I was, checking out different transformation pictures of other people. Thanks, Katrina, for sharing. And I was looking at some of my other friends that have lost weight and so on and so forth. And I started comparing myself. I started thinking, look at them. Thanks for the hearts. Look at them and look what they've done and how much weight they've lost and everything. Then I started being very critical of myself. And I tell you, God is just really funny. And even my husband, he reminded me, he said, their journey is their journey. Your journey is your journey. You don't know what God is telling them to do, right? Just like God is telling you to do what you need to do for your journey, God is telling them to do what they need to do for their journey. And I was able to be quiet on that, because it's very true. When we compare ourselves to other people, and by getting in competition to say, well, hey, we're on the same thing. You do have a weight loss hint, remove inflammation at the entrance of the body. Okay, that's great. So I was able to be able to say, you know what? I have to stay focused. I have to bring myself back in. I have to realign myself with what is my purpose. Why am I doing this? I want to be free. Again, I'm releasing the weights that have been holding me hostage, fear, weight, rejection, lack of faith, low self-esteem. Thanks for the heart, babe, and thanks for joining back in. So for me, it's not just about the pounds. I had to look at the root issues about why did I gain the weight in the first place. It wasn't just the bad, I won't say bad, but unhealthy eating choices and lack of exercise. Okay, that's the outward symptom, but the inward symptom, the internal symptoms were the weights, the spiritual, mental, emotional. So when I thought about that today, I just said, you know what, I wanted to encourage you guys out there. And this is not just about weight loss, I guess for me. This is principles that can apply to any journey that you're on, right? Don't compare yourself to other people, but be your own competition. Like when I shared a little bit earlier, and I think the scope is available, about the small changes that I've seen. Thanks, Latoya, for joining. Welcome. I'm Lakeisha Riddick, blogger, online talk radio show host of Share My World Show. Follow me on all social media and stay connected with me. I appreciate it. So I was able to see my progress because I was comparing myself against myself, right? Now, there's a lot of people doing this particular challenge that I'm in because I'm in a Facebook group and they have a lot of people that do it. But I'm not comparing myself to other people. I mean, like I said earlier, some people can do 3 rounds of the exercise that I did earlier in addition to their regular exercise. Okay, that's not me at this point. And I don't feel bad about it because I know what God is telling me to do and I know how I'm pushing myself. So again, for you, whatever God is telling you to do, be confident in it and do it. Because if you're not, hey, DJ Colin J, thanks for joining. Because if you don't do it, then you're distracted. So that's what another thing I wanted to talk about, you know, in terms of where are you scoping from tonight? Thanks for joining. I'm in Atlanta, Lakeisha Riddick. So appreciate you joining. I think you joined me before, so I appreciate you following. This is pretty cool when I'm getting consistent followers, you know, so I really get to know your names and where you're coming from, and we can kind of chat. I'm even thinking about doing a blab. Would you guys like that? And then we do Laredo, Texas. Okay. And I do a blab, and then I get to see you guys, and then we can kind of talk back and forth, and I think it's called jumping in and answer questions and vibe off each other. So let me know if you'd be interested. Hey, El Pate, thanks for joining back in. That's another follower. I've been seeing her, you know, and joining in on my scopes. So I thought about it, right? Okay, I said stop comparing yourself to others. I said your journey is your journey. I said stay focused. I said be obedient, right? Hey, be obedient to God for his instructions for you. Stand firm in your reasons why you're doing this, right? Oh, I know. I've just been watching too. Man, I don't know. I think I'm probably just going to have to just, you know, dive in, just like how I figured out Periscope, right? I don't know. We'll see. And, you know, I'm not doing it anytime soon right now, but when I do, I'll let you guys know so that you can follow me over there as well. And then we could, you know, see each other and chat back and forth. So, and like I said, comparisons bring distractions, but they also bring envy. I didn't like how I was feeling earlier when I was looking at these other people's transformations and their stories, and then immediately I started going in on, well, what are they doing? I don't know if it's going to last. Thank you. You know, thanks, Lisa. I don't know if it's going to last, and, you know, that kind of thing. And then, you know, God quickly, you know, reminded me of when I lost, you know, almost 100 pounds 8 years ago. How many people, hey, Jay Bryant, 725, thanks for joining. And people, yes, it'll have you feeling some type of way, I promise you. Because hey, Shanae, hey, girl, how you doing? I lost the weight, like I said, 8 years ago, and then everybody started asking me, what did you do? How did you do it? What did you do? How did you do it, right? Okay, well, you get tired of answering that, you know, over and over again, particularly with the same people. I had the same people asking me, like, on different days, the same questions. What were you doing? How you do it? Were you doing this diet? No, I was not. At that time, I did not do any kind of dieting. You know, I was just drinking water all day. I'll tell you this, drinking water all day. I would drink, you know, a drink with my dinner. I would eat until I was full. Exercise, definitely wasn't doing what I was doing now. Hey, Guasancho, is that how you pronounce it? What's your real name? You could tell me. And thanks for coming in, Lakeisha Riddick, blogger, online talk radio show, and host. They thought you were going to say something. Yes, they did. Lisa, they did think I was going to say something. It was like they were trying to catch me out there in a lie or something. And I started getting mad because I'm like, wait a minute here. I know. Yes. Okay. Catch the replay, Katrina. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. And I was getting mad because I'm like, I know what God was telling me to do at that particular time. And I was going to say about the exercise. I was not doing a particular exercise regimen like I'm doing now, like different exercises each day. I was walking, and that was not even consistent with the neighbor in my neighborhood. But that was just that was just it. And I would tell people, and they would be like, "Yeah, mm-hmm." Again, the next day, the same people would say the same thing over and over again. And then I started getting discouraged because I'm like, they're not believing that God is helping me. Because I would describe it just like that. I would say the Holy Spirit is helping me to do it by giving me instructions, and that's what I'm doing. Hey, Sandy, thanks for joining back in. They would not believe. But so then I'm thinking maybe they were having that hateration. I don't like using that word, but I'll tell you how I was feeling earlier. Excuse me. The hateration of their own, story, their own journey. Even if it wasn't, again, weight loss, but, how could I accomplish this? And, or they were going to try to do exactly what I did. Isn't that the case when it comes to weight loss? We want to find out exactly how somebody did something so then we can actually try to do it ourselves. Don't get caught up in that. Again, be your own competition, because as soon as you start to try to do something the same way as somebody else, you're going to fail. Because did God tell you to do that? Now, God may tell you to do things with the same principles in mind, okay? Because he is God, and his principles and truth reign, his natural laws reign, his spiritual laws reign, right? But if you try to do exactly what I'm doing, I don't think you're going to have the same success, because my story is my story. Okay, something else I thought about when I was thinking about sharing with you guys in terms of being distracted, and how when you're distracted, you're not focused. Again, I wasted, I don't know how long that conversation was, with my husband talking about other people and their journey and was it going to last, and I don't know I don't know what else I was saying, that, I wasn't preparing, to hear from him about what he wanted me to share with you guys tonight. I wasn't doing whatever else I could have done differently, right? Thanks for the hearts. So I say to you, again, don't be distracted. My husband and I don't even know if he remembers this. Before we used to go to bed, we're a little nerdy, like, hey, Floss, thanks for joining back in. So we would did anybody do the puzzles? We like puzzles, right? Sudoku. It's the numbers in the boxes. You got to get, certain numbers, like it's like 1 through 9, and in the boxes. Anybody play that? Do those puzzles, Sudoku? So anyway, before we would go to bed, we would have a little competition. See, a little corny, but we would have, does she loves it? Well, we loved it. We haven't done it in a while. Maybe we might do it tonight. But it was funny because before we would go to bed, we would do puzzles. We would pick, the same difficulty level, and then we would, this is so funny. I'm laughing as I'm talking about it. We would do the puzzles, and then, hey, babe, hey, I forget your name, Raleigh girl. Is it Mari? I think that's what it is. Thanks for joining. I'm trying to remember. Yes, Mari. Good to see you. So, excuse me. The connection's bad. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on here. I could see myself. So we would do the puzzles, but here was the clincher. We would do the puzzles and see who would finish first. And whoever finished first, you won. And then we would do this tally, like at the end of the week, whoever won the most. And yeah, that's you. That's Carlton, my husband right there. So whoever won the most, the fastest times by the end of the week, they were like the reigning Sudoku, champion. So I remember I was winning all the time because this was my thing. This is my little, I could say meditation, quiet time. Hey, Robin at large, thanks for joining in. And please go back to the beginning, and you can check out the replay to hear everything I shared, so that you can get those tips that I shared earlier about why it's important to be your own competition. So I'm doing the puzzles, and this is my regularly scheduled thing that I would do, but he wanted to come in and join with me, right? So I'm thinking like, you don't know, you don't know, no, you are not the king of Sudoku. I was the queen of Sudoku, okay? So I was just like, how's he trying to come in and challenge me? How's he trying to come in and challenge me, right? So I would win. I mean, sweep, just, finish, I'm done. Well, guess what started happening? He started winning, right? And this is what I'm talking about in terms of distraction. I would start looking at him, because we would do it, we were in the bed together and we would do it. So I would look at him and be like, is he finishing up? Because, you could see how many numbers. Hey, John, thanks for joining. Please go back in the beginning and check out the replay so you can hear everything from the beginning. But I do appreciate you joining. So because I was looking at him, guess what? I was wasting my time. Hey, Naturally CC. Yeah, I was wasting my own time finishing my own puzzle. And then he will be winning. So guess what I had to do? I had to stop. I would see his hand over there moving, getting the, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Yeah, but see, Mari, I didn't even think about it because, he wasn't winning. He was not winning. I was winning the whole time. He just started sitting there. I'm seeing his hand moving and I'm like, whoa, how's he getting that fast? And look, that distracted me so that I was off my game and I didn't win. But I figured it out. How did I figure it out? I started keeping my eyes on my own puzzle and doing it for myself and doing it. So you see that with that example for you guys out there? Stay in your own lane. Stay in your own journey. Finish strong. Because when you look to the left or you look to the right and see somebody else and see how they're progressing or how they're not progressing, I promise you, you are going to be distracted. And then what? You're not going to finish your own journey. Just like the tortoise and the hare, right? That story that I shared earlier. Another thing, other people's marriages. This is something else here. We had some good conversations today, babe, right? Okay. Everybody's marriage is not the same. Everybody didn't get married for the same reason. So for you to look at somebody else's marriage, yes, look at the prize, not the other people. Yes, indeed, Mari. Because when you look at somebody else's marriage, you don't know what they did to get them. You don't know why they got married. You don't know what they're doing to keep their spouse, okay? I remember a couple that used to speak at like marriage retreats at our old church. She said something very key because, her and her husband were ministers, leaders in the church, and everybody said, yes, we want a marriage just like yours. And I remember doing a special marriage, conference and retreat. She said, really? You want a marriage just like mine? She said, do you want to do and live with everything I had to do to stay in my marriage? And I remember everybody was like, and then she started talking about the different things that they had to deal with. Finances, infidelities, the blended family. All kinds of different things that was their portion. That was their journey. And that's where God brought them together to be able to overcome together. But if that were somebody else's story or trying to put it together, it may not, work out as well. Thank you for the hearts. So, and I thought about that. I said, you know what? No, I want my marriage, the marriage that God has for me. Yes, I can look at other people, again, with the principles of, communication, God first, God being the third chord, and you're not easily broken and those kind of things. But to actually be envious, to want somebody else's, life and marriage, no. Okay, and then the final thing, comparisons of other people's lifestyles. Keeping up with the Joneses. Ooh, look at them. They have this car. They have this house. Again, you have no idea. And this is not being a hater, okay? Saying that, I don't know how they got it and if they're going to be able to keep it. But you really don't know how they got it. So why focus on that? Focus on, and you never really know what is going on in anyone else's life. You are absolutely right, Mari. You have no idea. I just, this is really sad. So comparison is useless. Where one of my sorors was, a victim, a senseless victim of domestic violence, where I think it was her ex-husband, she had a restraining order, I believe. Hopefully I'm remembering the details correctly. People front all the time. Yes, they do. And the other thing is too, we all wear masks, but some people's masks, have become glued to their face a little bit more so. Hey, Reverend Bree M., thank you for joining. And please go back and check the replay. And if you like, you can share it with your followers as well. I appreciate it, you guys joining in tonight. Just a little bit, about being your own competition. And I'll just repeat some of the things. And again, you can go back and hear some other things and examples that I shared earlier about stop comparing yourself to others. Your journey is your journey. Stay focused. Be obedient to God for his instructions for you, and stand firm on your reasons why, so while you're doing what you're doing to maintain your motivation. That's the only reason why I'm here today, 127 of this faith weight loss journey, because there's been a lot of distractions, and I'm glad that I'm rebounding a little bit quicker, where I'm able to kind of get myself back on track, because it can be very disheartening and discouraging when you see other people and you're like, wow, they, here I am 4 months and some days in, and my body doesn't look like this or whatever. Well, okay. Hi, Retop. Thanks for joining. And if you guys just want to share your first name and tell me where you're scoping from, I'll greet you. And thanks, I appreciate you for joining. And please go back if you joined in later. Again, Lakeisha Riddick, online blogger and online talk radio show host of Share My World Show. And everybody can connect to me on Facebook. My page is Share My World Show. My YouTube channel, Share My World Show. All my social media is Share My World Show. I appreciate it. So, Reverend Bridget from Missouri, welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for joining in. I do appreciate you for following me and following my journey. And like I've said to you before, as you continue you're in Maryland. Okay, great. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you. So, as you continue to follow me, you're going to be able to see. That's something else I was going to say in terms of, not knowing what somebody else is doing. Mari said, in terms of people fronting all the time. Well, I'm not fronting, okay? You go to my blog, you can see day one all the way up until now what I'm doing. And then now this month, I'm showing you the details of the food that I've been eating and, giving you more details about the exercises that I'm doing. So I'm not perfect, let me stop doing that. I'm going to stop discounting myself. I already talked about that yesterday, okay? I am being obedient to God. That's what I'm doing. And I am fulfilling the calling that he has in my life, which is for me to be set free, to help others be set free. And by me being obedient and you guys following me every step of the way, you can see exactly what I'm doing. You see, before, maybe that's what it was. Maybe 8 years ago when I did lose like almost 100 pounds and nobody really knew what happened, and they keep badgering me over and over again. What did you do? What did you do? And then they didn't believe it. Well, listen, you can believe it now with your own eyes and your own ears, hearing my story, seeing my transformation, you know what I'm saying, as the pounds are being released, but also actually as I'm telling you about what else is being released, spiritually, mentally and emotionally, how God is transforming me. So you get in the whole package because you're able to see it, day by day. And so when I do reach the goal weight, and I do have a goal weight, then, you'll be able to say, oh, I know what Lakeisha did. Let me tell you, it was God. Thanks, KB Career, for joining. Please go and check the replay so you can get all the goods from the beginning, because I'm about to end, but I do appreciate you for joining. Tell me your name before we go so I can greet you properly. So, again, I thank you for joining me and following me. You are a work in progress. We all are, and it is awesome when we encourage and support each other. You are so right, Mari and Christina. Yes, Christina, thank you. So, you know what? Take Mari's word. Yes, it is great you are sharing your journey. Yes, well, see, this is what God told me to do. Somebody else may not, be at this place in their journey, or even be, check the replay, or may even be, compelled to do it. But I have to be obedient. I started sharing my world in 2009 on my blog, talk radio show. Then I progressed to blogging, and now I'm doing video broadcasts. So you can see my transformation, my journey, moving past my fears. God is helping me out. So just stay tuned, stay connected with me. Again, follow me on all social media, Share My World Show, to actually see more of my progress. And also, and just remember what I said earlier on the previous scope, appreciate the small things, hey, this is just amazing. People just still joining in. Every time I'm about to just leave. Hey, Josh, thank you for joining. So I really am going to end this time, but thank you for the hearts too. But please go back and check the replay, and if you like it, give me some hearts and share it with your followers. I do appreciate it. So I want to say again, thank you for sharing my world. Now go and share your world with others. Have a